Hello, students. How are you today? I know you are washing your hands and staying safe. Last week, you saw a lot of pictorial illustrations on worship and you got familiarized with Kwema. Do you still remember the full meaning of that acronym, Kwema? I'm sure you do. Of course, it means content, organization, expression, and mechanical accuracy. Okay, today you will be introduced to punctuation marks. What is punctuation? Punctuation is the use of special marks or signs to divide a writing into sentences, clauses, or phrases. Punctuation is the use of special marks or signs to divide a writing into sentences, clauses, or phrases. I'm sure you remember what a phrase is. A phrase, of course, does not have a final verb, but a clause has a final verb. And of course, a sentence is a group of words that makes a complete sense. Why do you need to use punctuation in your writing? There are 14 punctuation marks that are commonly used in English grammar, and they include the, will you remember? Can you think about them? Okay. The period or full stop. The period or full stop. It is used for marking the end of abbreviation or statement. Can you form a sentence with a full stop? Okay. He is a nuisance. We are reading in the class. Our teacher has come. Let's look at the question mark. The question mark or interrogative sign is used to mark the end of a question or interrogative statement. When you ask a question, it's supposed to end with an interrogative mark. For example, are you coming soon? Are you in the room? Have you started the assignment yet? Those are interrogative questions. The next is exclamation mark. Do you know how exclamation mark is? Look at it here in the slide. It is used to mark the end of a statement that expresses strong feeling or emotion. When I say, oh, I'm hurting, of course, you expect me to use an exclamation mark at the end of that statement. What a nice man he is. Can you give me another example of a statement that would need an exclamation mark? Okay, let's look at the comma. The comma is the most abused of all punctuation marks. Why? Most times students don't know when to use the comma. Of course, the comma is used to separate the item in a list or to show where there is a slight pause in a sentence or a speech. Example, she went to the market and bought biro, pen, ruler, eraser, and a pencil. The semicolon. The semicolon is another interesting punctuation mark which you must learn how to use. It is used to indicate a pause that is stronger than a comma but shorter than a full stop. Sentence example, to err is human, to forgive is divine. These two sentences can be joined together by adding a subordinating conjunction. The apostrophe, Joe's. When you say Joe's, you're saying what belongs to Joe. It is used for marking omissions or shortened words or to show possessive forms of nouns or noun phrases. Sentence example, my father's car. My father's car. That is a car that belongs to my father. The quotation mark, also known as inverted comma, is used to enclose direct speech or the title of books. Remember, they are called inverted commas or quotation marks. Why? Because they are usually 2 in number. Example, I will come tomorrow, said John. You can see that there's an enclosure of the speech made by John. Next is hyphen. The hyphen is commonly used to form a compound word from 2 or more words such as hard-hearted, go between, brother-in-law, mother-in-law, and so on. Can you think of other ones, other examples? Go between. Okay, that is good. Now, let's look at the dash. Remember, the dash is twice as long as the hyphen. It is used to indicate a sudden or abrupt change of thought. It is used to indicate an abrupt change of thought. Example, his aim was to pass the examination, an aim that meant hard work and application. You can see the change in thought, but both the 2 sides of sentences are connected. Let's look at ellipses, also known as the 3 dots. Ellipses are used to indicate that words have been omitted, especially from a quotation or at the beginning of a conversation. Have you ever used this before? I'm sure you see this a lot, most times when you read novels. Okay? An example is to be or not to be. That is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question. ... The ellipsis is 3 dots. It is never 2 dots, neither is it 4 dots. So a full stop does not come with it. Next is italics. Most times students ask me, Mr. Kana, what are italics? And italics is a style of printing in which the letters used lean to the right. Most times you see in a novel you're reading, when the writer uses an italics, it is lighter. The ink in it is lighter than the other words. That is an italics. Okay, let's look at the brackets. The brackets usually are used in 3 ways. Okay, sometimes some writers will use parentheses or braces. They are the same, but they just have different shapes. Okay, the bracket is a sign used to enclose expressions which are incidentally explanatory or supplementary to the main thought. The brackets are used to enclose expressions which are incidental, explanatory, or supplementary to the main thought. Okay, you might want to explain what you have written already. You put it in brackets or parentheses. Let's look at the colon. You can see the shape of a colon right in front of you. The colon is used to introduce a list, summary, an explanation, or before reporting what somebody has said. That is what the colon is for. It is used to introduce a list, summary, an explanation, or before reporting what somebody had said. Most times when you are reading your literature books, that is drama, it's the colon that the writer uses. Example, here is what we have on hand. 1 hammer, 3 screwdrivers, 1 saw, and a digger. Here is what we have in hand, colon. I'm introducing the list now. 1 hammer, 3 screwdrivers, 1 saw, and a digger. Okay? I'm sure you'll be able to make a sentence of your own using the colon. The next is the slash. The slash is a symbol used to show alternative. It is usually used to show an alternative. When you say you or he will be fixing the dinner tonight.